Hey there, welcome. Thanks for joining me. So today we're going to be making some tablescape holders, basically some containers to add to your table or anywhere in your home, but I specifically made them for my table for Easter. So what we're going to use first are these popsicle sticks. These are the larger popsicle sticks, and you can get these at Walmart. Just go ahead and line up a few at a time. I lined up about 10 at a time and just kept doing this until I completely filled my basket. So what I did was basically line them up, and then I kind of measured out where the center of the popsicle stick was, and then I marked it from the top and I marked the bottom one as well. And then once I marked both of them, I went ahead and just lined up my ruler and drew a line down the center of all popsicle sticks. Once you've lined that center down, go ahead and grab some scissors or a box cutter or whatever you have to cut that's sharp, and go ahead and just cut them in half where you drew that line. Now this is why I did this, was because if you leave them long, they're just basically way too long for this container that I'm using. But if you have a longer container, feel free to leave them that length and you won't have to cut them. So just go ahead and cut all your popsicle sticks in half. Once you've cut all your popsicle sticks, go ahead and just start gluing them onto your container. Now, as you could tell, this was a Christmas container, but typically Dollar Tree has this style and shape of container all year round basically, but this one was just a Christmas one that I wanted to go ahead and recycle. Another option that I wish I would have done, but I didn't, but it turned out fine after I was completely finished. I would have spray painted my container white. Just depending on your decor, that's an option you can do as well. But just go ahead and start gluing your wood pieces onto your container. And all I used was hot glue, and they stuck on there really good. So just go ahead and use your hot glue gun to add all the popsicle sticks to your container. And as you can tell, these popsicle sticks basically were a perfect size, if you ask me, for this size of container. So if you're going to use the same size, I would recommend you go ahead and they might have this size of popsicle sticks on Amazon. Not too sure how big of a package they are, but again, you can purchase these at Walmart. So just go ahead and continue adding all your popsicle sticks to your container. And this can be used in your garden, bathroom. I can see myself using these kind of containers all over the place. I know I love making DIY containers and tier trays because I use them a lot in different areas of my home, just depending on what I'm trying to decorate or what I want to place there. So just go ahead and continue adding your popsicle sticks and kind of let them dry for a little bit before you start adding some more onto the sides, because you are going to be moving the container and kind of trying to make the popsicle stick attached to your container. So just make sure the other ones are dry before you do that. As you can see, you move it around quite a bit just to make sure that those popsicle sticks around the edges do stick on right. And what I did where the handles are at is basically I left an opening. I just glued my piece of wood into the part where the handle is at. And then I just left that little V part opening on both sides of my, where my handles are at. And you'll see what I do once we're all completely done adding the rest of my popsicle sticks, basically how I fill those in. So all you're gonna do again is just continue adding your sticks. You can also use the smaller popsicle sticks from Dollar Tree if you'd like, but the look I was going for was just a bigger piece of wood, so that's why I decided to use these. And as you can tell, what I did was just get a box cutter and kind of shape my popsicle stick to the size that I needed for the opening where my handle parts are at. As you can tell right there where the container's at, it's like a little V shape. So basically all I did was kind of just eyeball it and figure out how or what size I needed, and then just kind of glue them on and kept cutting little pieces of my stick as I went until I got the perfect size. And just cut a little bit at a time until you get the right size. Once you find out you got the right size, go ahead and glue it onto that area. And you can fill in all the red spots with some popsicle sticks the same way as if you like. It didn't bother me to see a little bit of it, so I basically just did the larger pieces and filled them in this way. And then just glue them all on there. And then the next step I did was basically just make sure the bottom of my container, all the pieces of wood were all even, and if they were kind of hanging down, I just removed that piece as well and just made sure it was all nice and flat. Once I allowed it to dry a little bit, I went ahead and grabbed some stain, and this is, I believe this was walnut color, but you can also use like Waverly chalk paint and the antique wax color, which is a brown, and you can just water it down and do the same thing that I'm doing. So just grab any kind of stain or paint you like and just start painting your sticks. And one thing I like to do is I just like to give my sticks or whatever wood I'm painting one coat, then I allow it to dry, or simply by the time I'm done with it, the first parts of the paint that I painted, the first sticks that I painted are typically almost dry or completely dry. And if I see that it needs another coat, then I give it another coat. I don't tend to make it a heavy first coat just for that same reason, because you never know how dark it's going to be once it's dry. So I tend to just give it a light coat and then keep adding on with extra coats if I want it darker. So once you're done painting all your wood sticks, just allow it to dry again, and then we can continue with the next step. I know right now it's really a difficult time for everyone. It's hard. We're all worried about a lot of things, but I made a decision to go ahead and celebrate Easter and celebrate what it stands for, and try to make the best of it and appreciate the family that we do have around, and realize that, you know, things change in this moment and we never know what can happen. And now that we're some of us are enclosed and some of us don't have a lot of family around, but still I wanted to, you know, go ahead and celebrate Easter, and again celebrate what it is. And just me and my kiddos that are in my home. We won't have the big gathering just yet, but we are deciding to go ahead and celebrate Easter, just us here in the family, the ones that are in my home. So just go ahead, and once it's all completely dry, grab your jute twine and just tie a knot and tie it around one of your handles, and then just simply wrap your jute twine around your handle. And you can add glue every so often if you like, but basically I just kind of tightened it around, holding it with one finger or a few fingers, and then holding it and tightening it as I went. You guys let me know, are you deciding to continue and celebrate Easter with the family that you have in your home, or are you just going to wait until hopefully all of this gets a little bit better and we can get together and have a big gathering with all your family and friends? So once you're done, what I did was basically wrap it around as many times as I can, and then I just hot glued the end of my rope onto the handle. And there you have it. And I did that to the next handle as well. Tying a knot with my jute twine, and then just rolling out more than what I think I'm going to need of jute twine to wrap it around my handle, and then I just continued wrapping it around and gluing it at the end. I'm going to be using mine, like you know, on my table indoors, but I really think I'm going to keep this to use every time we have a picnic or a barbecue outside. That way I can just go ahead and put all my paper plates in here and have a place for them on the picnic table when we're out, you know, for cookouts or what have you. So you can leave it as is, just depending on your taste, but I decided to go ahead and grab some more of my rope, and I just hot glued it to one of the ends on the bottom part of my container, and I wrapped it around my container. But the first wrap around, what I did was add a little bit of glue every so often, basically on either end, and then that way it could stay in place. And I just did that to the first wrap, and then I just started wrapping it around. And you can do it as many times as you like. I believe I did it about 15 times to the bottom part of this container. And then once you're happy with the amount of times you've wrapped your jute twine around the bottom of your container, go ahead and just cut off the extra rope and add some hot glue to your end. You can even use this as an Easter basket and place things in there for a gift, and it would be adorable. I would love to get something like that. And there you have it on the bottom. And again, I decided to add a little bit more, but this is just my taste. Again, I'm just giving you guys some ideas, and just go ahead, and what I did was do the same process, add some glue and onto my rope, glue it onto the container, and then I wrapped it around the top part of my container as well. And the top part I wrapped around, I want to say about 4 or 5 times. I didn't wrap it around as many as I did in the bottom, but I did wrap it around a few times. And just adding hot glue as you go. You can even make bows with the jute twine or any kind of rope or ribbon that you like, and add bows to your basket as well. That would be adorable too. So once you're done, just make sure you add some glue to the end of your rope to make sure it stays nice and secure and in place. And there you have it. Your first container is done. And I was thinking of adding some more rope to the inside, but I decided not to. So once I was done with that, I wanted a container for my utensils. So what I decided to do was recycle and reuse one of these glass containers that I had spray painted gray for another project that I decided not to do after all. So I went ahead and grabbed it and got the smaller popsicle sticks from Dollar Tree and glued them onto my glass container. This one is a glass container, but I'm sure you can use any kind of container, just adding the sticks to it with permanent glue or hot glue. So it's the same process, just adding glue and adding your popsicle stick side by side until you completely fill your entire container. And like I said, I'm going to use this one for my utensils, but you can use it as a vase to add into your bathroom, just anywhere in your home, or like I am for cookouts and what have you, is where I'm going to end up using these for. And I decided to use the smaller popsicle sticks for this container or this glass jar because the larger popsicle sticks, when I was kind of testing it out and trying to put them around this glass container, they would stick out a little bit too much and it didn't have that finished even look that I was looking for. So that's why I decided to use the smaller popsicle sticks for this container. So once you're done adding all your sticks to your jar, this is the way it's going to look. And I did the same thing. I allowed it to dry and then I just stained it with the same paint, or stainer, I'm sorry, but you can use paint. What color were you going to use for your containers? Are you going to stain them like I did, or paint them white, or any other color? I'd like to know. Let me know down below. So once you're done staining your entire container, go ahead and allow it to dry. And then I wanted it to look like the other containers. So what I decided to do was add some jute twine around the bottom and the top as well. And I wrapped it around, I want to say about 4 or 5 times. Just you wrap it around to taste or however you like. And then what I decided to do was go ahead and add some more on the top. But that's an option, you can, or if you want to, or if you don't have to. Just go ahead and add your glue and start wrapping that rope around again. And there you have it. Now don't forget, every time you use jute twine or any kind of rope, at least what I do is I grab my lighter and I just run the lighter through it just to give it more of that finished look, and all those frills won't be around, or that loose rope that's around your jute twine. So once I was done with those two, I went ahead and grabbed one of these metal napkin holders from Dollar Tree as well. And I had some extra popsicle sticks already cut in half. So what I'm doing is adding glue to my napkin holder, and then I'm placing the popsicle stick on top of that. And then I just press onto it to make sure it stays nice and secure and in place. So just go ahead and add some hot glue to your napkin holder, and then place your piece of wood on top. And you can use the smaller ones, but again, I wanted to use the larger ones. That was my that was what I mainly wanted to use. So that's what I decided to go ahead and use. But of course you can use the smaller popsicle sticks too. So once you're done adding all your popsicle sticks to both sides of your napkin holder, go ahead and grab your paint or stain and do the same process. And I decided not to go ahead and paint the inside of the napkin holder, the wood piece, but you can if you like. And then all I did was grab some of the rope and then just cut the piece that I needed to glue the ends towards the inside of my napkin holder, just to make sure that it looked the same as my other two pieces. And then just grab your lighter and make sure that you are careful with it, but just run it through the rope just to make sure it stays nice and neat. And there you have it. And this is the way it looks all put together with my utensils. And I just added some paper plates from Walmart that have Easter paper plates. And if you have an Instagram, go ahead and follow me on Instagram and you'll see how I set this whole table up and exactly what I used and where it's from. But this is the way it looks all put together. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy your week and make the best of this time that we are at home. I know it's difficult for some of us, but hopefully you guys are in good spirit and just making the best of everything that's going on right now and trying to be productive. Until next time, you guys stay safe and stay blessed. Bye.